Good evening, everyone, and welcome to Laughing Place TV. My name is Doobie Mosley, and I will be hosting this evening's presentation of the social media reactions to Strange World. So, when a movie like this comes out, sometimes people will have seen screenings for it long ago, but they're under embargo to where they can't say anything about it for a while. And then usually there's a point where they can say stuff on social media, just give general impression, and then later on they can do a full review. So we've reached that point where they can say stuff, limited stuff on social media, and plenty of people have. And so we're going to take a look around the interwebs right now and see what people have to say about Strange World. Let me tell you a little bit about the film first. It comes out, hold on, one thing here for you. My apologies. Comes out very soon, like extremely soon, considering how little publicity I think this has gotten, in my opinion. But let me let this run while I talk a little bit about the film, and then we'll get to those social media reactions. So it comes out on November 23rd. Of course, this is Walt Disney Animation Studios, not Pixar. Directed by Don Hall, who directed Raya and the Last Dragon, Big Hero 6, the 2011 Winnie the Pooh film. He was also the co-director of Moana. The main voices are Jake Gyllenhaal, Dennis Quaid, Jaboukie Young-White, and Gabrielle Union. And the synopsis is, Strange World chronicles the legendary Clades, mainly Searcher Clade, who has always been a farmer and has never had the bravery of his family of explorers, but they are forced to tackle their latest and most crucial mission as they must rely on each other and forced to put away their differences while in an uncharted and treacherous land of Avalonia to find a special creature that awaits. So that is the synopsis coming from Wikipedia. That is what Strange World is as you finish up watching the trailer here, and then we will get to what social media has to say thus far about this film, which, like I said, I don't think has gotten, in my opinion, nearly the publicity of some other that you normally would expect from Walt Disney Studios animated feature. And Tony Betty says, well, Chapek did cut the marketing budget per the earnings call, so perhaps that is why. But that seems kind of short-sighted because you need to be able to market a film to be able to make money from the film. But what do I know? Anyway, this is Strange World. You can obviously find that trailer at Disney's YouTube channel. You can find that trailer on Laughing Place. There are multiple trailers actually that are out now. I think they've also released some featurettes, which we're not going to show you. Obviously, this will be completely spoiler-free. The embargo lift does require that the tweets remain spoiler-free. So you're not going to see anything. You're not going to see anything here you wouldn't have seen in the trailer. I haven't seen the movie, so I certainly can't spoil anything for you. But let's see what people have to say. Of course, we start with the most important tweet of all, the one from Laughing Place. First impressions of Strange World from Disney Animation. These two guys steal every scene they're in. Audiences will fall in love with Legend the Dog and Splat the Thing. So here we have Legend the Dog, Splat the Thing. And according to our Laughing Place, I'm not sure who saw this movie. I'm guessing it was Alex who wrote this. Alex Rife. And that's his opinion of this. I know he's a huge dog lover. This surprises me not at all. All right, moving on. Who else we got? Liz Shannon Miller from Consequence. Strange World is a visual feat where the most unbelievable part of the story proves to be the ending, which is impossible to talk about without spoilers, but I feel like there's a fair amount to say about it. Amazing voice cast all around, and again, a visceral treat. So just so you know, I am reading these simply in the order they came up after the embargo lifted. I haven't tried to organize good versus bad. So, so far, we're on a roll. Let's hope this keeps going. I love for Disney to make great stuff. If you have any opinions on these opinions, feel free to put them in the chat. I can see them now, and I can even put them on screen, which is very exciting. That's new. Just new today. All right. Daniel Howat from Next Best Picture. Right. Strange World has a beautifully animated and strange world. Unfortunately, the film doesn't have enough narrative thrust to keep the momentum of the adventure going. Heavy-handed themes take priority, leaving the story in the dust. It's enjoyable enough, but a miss overall. So if you're keeping score, it is now 2-1 in favor of good movie. Liam from Comic book, at comic book. When you have the at for something as generic as comic book, you're big. I feel good about calling Strange World the animated film of the year. Whoa, that's big. Uh-oh. Tony Betty says, Liz has angered me. Liz had a very positive review, Tony. I want to know what problem you had with Liz. All right, sorry about that. Oh, saying there are ways for something to be spoiled is in fact a spoiler. Okay, Tony, if you want to remain that unsullied, you might want to go somewhere else over the next couple minutes. But I do understand what you're meaning. Yeah, can you believe the twist at the end of Sixth Sense? Well, now you know there's a big twist at the end of Sixth Sense. That's kind of you make a point, Tony. You make a point. I take back every bad thing I've ever said about you. All right, Liam, back to Liam. I feel good about calling Strange World. Here, let me just get this bigger and I can read in front of me. The animated film of the year. The visuals are stunning and Jackman's score is magnificent, but at its core is a beautiful age-old message that is rightfully resurrected for a new generation. I hope that many families watch this together. So 3-1 in favor of Strange Worlds. It is wonderful. Next up, we have Big Screen Leaks. Interesting that they get to write a non-spoiler social embargo review, but here we go. For the most part, Strange World is fun. It's got gorgeous visuals, a fun cast, an important message, and great LGBTQ representation. What drags it down is a by-the-numbers story, iffy pacing, and mediocre script. If the script was worked on more, that would have been a big help. So, Tony, on the one hand, you have someone saying the ending is spoiled. On the other hand, you're saying it's a by-the-numbers story. So I feel that kind of evens itself out, and you're now unsullied again. By my count, this is 3 positive, 1 negative, and 1 in between. So we'll just throw this one out in between. Come down on one side. This is Courtney Howard from LA Film Critics, another big one. This is not a nobody. Strange World is a large-scale, pulpy adventure fantasy housing radical, colorful world building and heart-rending character drive. Its sentiments on legacy and making the world a better place is charming and disarming. Plus, there's a super cute 3-legged pup who will win everyone's hearts. This is how you become a member of the LA Film Critics with wonderful writing like that. Thank you for that, Courtney. That's a great review. 4-1. Next up, we have Laura from HC Critics' Choice, among others. So, people are so many freelancers. They write for so many places. It's hard to say exactly where they're from, but it's Laura. We know that. Strange World has the best animation I've seen regarding the details of the landscaping characters. The world is beautiful. The story is kind of shallow until the end, where it gets you thinking about climate change and how we treat our environment and legacy. So, Tony, I'm curious. Tony Betty, who we've been putting up in the comments here, he writes for Laughing Place. He's our animation main animation writer here at Laughing Place. So I presume you've seen the trailer. The best animation I've seen regarding the details of the landscaping characters. I'd be curious, Tony, if you agree with that based on what you've seen in the trailer. Is this some stellar animation coming in Strange Worlds that we're looking forward to in the next week? Matt Neglia from editor-in-chief of the Next Best Picture and host of the Next Best Picture podcast. So pretty big time here again. Matt says, Strange World has a lot of ideas on its mind, from broken families to environmentalism and how technology has helped and held back society. It's all jumbled in a sci-fi adventure story that attempts to blend classic and progressive storytelling, but much of it feels forced and predictable. So I think that if I had to give that a thumbs up or down, I would say he gave that a thumbs down, 4-2 by my count, but marginal. I don't think that's a very negative review. These early social embargo reviews, in my experience, tend to be a little bit more positive overall than what ends up happening down the line. So the fact that this isn't a little more uniformly excited has me a tiny bit worried, but it is what it is. Sir Jeff Nelson from Cheat Sheet, Screen Rant, big site. Strange World concocts a gorgeously animated world with bizarre creatures and environments, along with a sweet multi-generational story about fathers and sons. Natural LGBTQ inclusion feels good in a place like this. So definitely a positive review. Used some great stills in his tweet, and that would bring it up. I've lost count. That's why I need to write things down. I think it's now 6-2. All right, Tony has chimed in. It's very beautiful, but the main piece of animation they show is a creature swarm hugely reminiscent of Finding Dory, which was 5 to 6 years ago now. So at least according to the trailers. See, this is why I should have had you on here with me, Tony. Like, except you're not on right now, and you're probably sitting there in a t-shirt and stuff. So, anyway, next up we have Michael Lee. Michael Lee from Geeks of Doom. Some big-time people putting out their reviews. Oh, Tony goes on. But other aspects certainly are very fluid and beautiful to look at. And the trailer is beautiful. I do not disagree with that one bit. It is a great-looking trailer. And now that I've learned through these reviews and watching the trailer a little more, I'm actually more excited about this film than I was before. The action aspect of it is kind of exciting, and the pulp fiction that it's kind of riffing off of, not riffing, but paying homage to is more exciting than I would have guessed. So maybe I'll be seeing this one, at least when it hits Disney+. All right, Michael Lee says, Strange World is a heartfelt and humorous ode to the classic pulp action adventure comics. Ki Wen pens an emotional story about fathers and sons and the legacy they leave behind, and for it to normalize interracial family and LGBTQ plus characters in animated films is a plus. And so there you go, another very positive review. And all this father-son talk too. I'm a father. I have a son. Maybe this will speak to me in a special way, kind of like Finding Nemo does. Tony is in a short-sleeved Henley V-neck. Thank you very much. I think I saw you in that earlier in the background of my wife's stream, and that's acceptable. Your camera ready. And Big Screen Leaks says, if Strange World wasn't a Disney project, I'd have much higher praise. But Disney has very high standards for their animated work, so this movie was somewhat of a letdown. Ouch. That is not a positive review. So I guess if this were what is the name of that company that does those Disney ripoffs? Instead of cars, they do vehicles. I can't remember what that's called. But if this were them, Anchor Films, this would have been more praise. I'm just looking real quick to see if there's any tweets that have come in since then. Oh, nope, that's not a tweet on the film. That's a tweet on the premiere, which was held tonight at the El Capitan. Here's one. All right, so let's get a couple more in here. That many coming through. This is from Eric Goldman, who is a managing editor at Fandom. And boom. Says, Strange World surprised me. I hadn't been excited by the trailers, but it's incredibly imaginative and creative, once more underlining just how limitless animation can be. It's got very engaging characters, and I love the fantastical world, like in the title it introduces. That's a couple people I've seen riffing on the Strange World title. So didn't we already hear from Big Screen Leaks? Maybe we did. Maybe they have two writers, Tony. Sorry. Let you see that. I can't keep all this straight in my head. I can't even keep the numbers in my head. Jake points out, this is not a review, but the Strange World reactions are not great. Disney might be 2 for 2 this year with animated flops. The last, I presume, he's referring to Lightyear. Yeah, we'll see. There's not always a correlation between reviews and box office, of course. I, for one, shocked Lightyear did not do better just because it was building on such a well-known character, but it did. Brad Stevenson says, I didn't realize this movie was even getting a theatrical release, and also assumed that it was 6 to 12 months away. So that goes back to the marketing or lack thereof we were talking about. So this was 25 seconds ago. I haven't read this one yet, so we'll make this one our final read for the day. This coming from Drew Taylor of The Wrap. Also is written for the New York Times, so this ain't no shabby person. Strange World has wonderful character Strange World has wonderful character creature designs, a terrific central conceit that makes its journey to the center of the earth, with National Lampoon's Vacation, there's a combo, and super progressive politics, climate change, LGBTQ inclusion, highly watchable and fun, and dying to rewatch. So there's Drew Taylor's opinion. Super progressive politics. Disney has taken criticism for that in the past. They've also taken praise for that in the past. Depending on where your politics lie or what you're looking for in a movie, you may find that a good point or a bad point. And I suspect the box office may have something to say about that as well. So Lightyear has the concept working against it. Yeah, I thought that would be a positive for it, but it turns out it perhaps was not a positive. So anyway, that is the social look at Strange World. Oops, excuse me. Once again, the most important response came from Laughing Place. First impression of Strange World from Disney Animation. These two guys steal every scene they're in. audiences will fall in love with Legend of the Dog and Splat the Thing. So if you've learned nothing else from this evening, you have learned that Splat is a thing. And honestly, I don't even know if this goes in the positive or negative column. I just know that when we say we're going to do an unspoiler review, we do it. All right. Thanks for tuning in here, guys. Let me check into my Slack real quick. There was a possibility that we were going to okay. My wife has given me an Artemis update. She's in Florida right now, hoping that Artemis launches tonight. They did have a technical issue, but it seems like they have resolved it. So make sure you tune into NASA's YouTube channel or any other YouTube channel like that. You know, there's some other amateur astronomers who do streams as well. One my wife really likes, and unfortunately I can't remember his name. Maybe if she's watching, she'll let me know. But so you can watch Artemis launch. We're going back to the moon, and it's really, really exciting. But we were here for Strange World. We got through it without me calling it Strange Magic, not one single time. So yay for me. And movie comes out again on November 23rd. Walt Disney Animation Studios. You can see it in theaters, not on Disney Plus, in theaters. So go check it out. Support theaters, movies. They're back, and we're excited to have them. Until I talk to you next time, which will be 10 a.m. tomorrow morning, 10 a.m. Pacific for the kickoff show, where we'll be kind of rehashing a little bit more Strange World, doing, of course, fun stuff as we do every morning, see how that morning stock price is going, and any other news that breaks overnight will be a part of our daily kickoff show tomorrow morning. I'll be here, right here on laughingplace.com/TV. Until then, I will see you. What's a good call? Until then, stay strange. That's a good one. Not that good, but good enough for now. See you later.